Suppose we have two CPUs and want to exchange data between them, meaning that we want to transfer data from the first CPU to the second one and transfer data from the second CPU to the first. So there are two network ports on each one of these CPUs that we have here, one MPI port and one DP port. Suppose that we need to connect these CPUs together through a Profibus DP network. In order to do this, we need to get a Profibus DP cable and connect one end of that to the DP port of this CPU and the other end to the DP port of the second CPU. In this case, after doing a bunch of network settings, these two CPUs can easily exchange data. Now, let's consider another case. Suppose we need to connect each of these CPUs independently and by means of a Profibus DP network to two IMs, which are located on the expansion rack. Again, we'll connect the DP port of the CPUs to the DP port on the IMs. Now, suppose in this case, we want to exchange data between the two CPUs, meaning that we want the CPUs to be connected both to the IMs and also be connected together. But there's a problem here. We only have one DP port on each of the CPUs, and we've already used it up in order to connect to the IMs. So what's the best solution in this scenario? A first option that crosses our mind is to use the MPI port. However, it's important to note that in order to use an MPI port, we need to use the same MPI network to exchange data as well. But here, for some reason, we need to use a Profibus DP network. For example, it could be that the amount of transferred data is quite large, so we can't use this network because the MPI network is slow. So, what should we do now? In this case, we can use a module called Communication Process, or CP for short. Now, what does this module do? This CP module provides us with a bunch of extra ports on top of the ports we already have on the CPU. If you see here, we use a CP module that has a DP port on it. In order to exchange data between the two CPUs, we put a CP module next to the first CPU and another one next to the second CPU. After that, we connect the DP port of these modules together by means of a Profibus DP cable. Then, after some software arrangements, we can transfer data between the two CPUs with these CP modules. So, we've used the CP module after we realized that we needed another DP port on top of the ports that were already on the CPU. Therefore, we use the CP module whenever we need extra ports in addition to the ports that are already on the CPU. We have different types of CP modules on which there could be different kinds of network ports. So first, we need to see what network we want to use the CP module for, and then based on that, we can choose the CP module that has our intended network port on it.